kiss her. What's up, guys? This is Jack and Eiley with the Yummy Passage, and today we're going to be talking about our recent trip to Ecuador. And specifically, we're going to be talking about 5 myths surrounding Guayaquil that are not true.
Before we get started, make sure to follow us on Instagram at the Yummy Passage. We post food, our adventures, fun facts, nature, everything,
And a
just
bunch of
our
other cool
adventures,
stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff that you want to see. So trust us, just go over there on Instagram, follow us, you won't regret it. The first myth about Guayaquil is that the Malecon is the coolest thing to see. Like, if you do a Google search on what should I do while I'm in Guayaquil, undoubtedly the first thing you'll see is the Malecon, which is this new boardwalk that the government just had built recently in the past, 5 years or something like that.
And there's really not much to do there. It's just 200 meters along the coast with some nice parks and, 2 really overpriced restaurants along kind of a dirty river. And if you don't look into the river, it's kind of a really nice view because you can see across to a different island and to Duran, which is another neighborhood there, and another one. It's just a bunch of rivers separating all these mini islands, but it's dirty and there's not anything to do other than walk along it.
Yeah, flying to Guayaquil and visiting the city to go see the Malecon would be the biggest letdown of all time.
And if you ask any local, they're always like, oh, all the tourists go to the Malecon, like, make sure you go to the Malecon, blah, 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 blah. But there's really nothing to see.
It's
there.
worth seeing, but you need about an hour and a half to go to Guayaquil with the expectation that the Malecon is going to be some super awesome thing that you can spend all day. I mean, maybe if you want to go pay for the mini circus rides and stuff that they have there, you could take all day, and some of the museums are there. I wouldn't really consider that the Malecon. I would consider that the National Museums, but really, it's completely overhyped.
And the biggest Ferris wheel in South America is on the Malecon, but that was close to COVID, but also it's just a Ferris wheel. And that would also only add like 30 minutes to your hour and a half.
If you're the tourist who goes to London for the London Eye, then you'll love the Malecon. If you're not the tourist who just goes to pay for a $50 Ferris wheel in London or £50.
$80.
$80. Okay, is it $80 or 80 pounds?
It's definitely in pounds. But
Okay,
it's
80
really,
pounds is
really
like
expensive.
$100. If that's who you are, go to Guayaquil, see the Malecon, you'll have a great time. If you actually want to see the cultural rich city that is Guayaquil, just spend half a day there. Honestly, just a morning, you'll be okay.
The second myth that you will hear all the time, if you Google Guayaquil, pickpocketers, it's dangerous. Don't go out past 8 p.m. It's everywhere says that Guayaquil's dangerous. Don't leave your hotel. Don't walk around. Not true at all. I did not feel unsafe the entire time, and
every single city that you research as a traveler will say, you will be stabbed if you go outside after 9 p.m. Whatever you do, don't look the locals in the eyes. All this other crap that just doesn't apply to you in 99.99% of scenarios. Like, I'm sure we maybe could have been pickpocketed if you acted like a complete idiot. You may get your pockets picked.
If you were just around cash like this, then maybe someone will pluck it out of your hand.
I mean, not even. I literally had so much change just clanging around in my pockets for 7 days straight. Nothing happened, So obviously be safe. We're not saying just walk around, drunk and completely unaware of where you are. But don't be afraid that, oh my gosh, it's 6 o'clock. The sun's going down. Quickly back to the Airbnb. We're gonna get shanked. It's none of that. The third myth, and this is something that we might disagree on, is the damn cangrejo, which is crab. Everybody says that you have to eat the crab. You have to have the cangrejo when you go to Guayaquil. And I'll say, as someone from Houston, right, we have crawfish down here. We don't really have crabs like that. I mean, we do, but we're known for the crawfish. Houston crawfish is way better than Ecuadorian or Guayaquileno, whatever, I forgot how you say it, crab. 100%. It's not seasoned. It doesn't even taste like anything.
It tastes like nothing. Sauce.
Yeah, and it's the same sauce that they give you with every other meal that you eat, and it doesn't really go that well with the crab. I mean, they put it on this little wooden thing in front of you, and they give you a hammer and you smash it up, and it's a whole lot of work for just some plain tasting seafood. Now, we might have had a bad experience and it wasn't that expensive, but
That's what
I would
gonna
never
say.
do that again.
There was like 20 different restaurants on that. So I find
It's like basically Crab Street is where you should go.
I find it hard to say that the crab in Guayaquil is bad only because we only tried one place. Like, what if it was just the worst one and we just happened to try the worst one?
That is possible, but highly unlikely. I mean, I don't think it's gonna vary that much. Every single menu on this place, on this street, is the exact same. Maybe this is $1 cheaper. This one comes with patacones and this plate doesn't, but it's pretty much the same. And I don't know, maybe I think it was because it was so hyped up. That's why the expectations fell short. Everyone was like, oh, the crab, you're gonna have one bite and that's all you're gonna want to eat. And it was, I mean, Massachusetts has way better seafood than Guayaquil. Yeah. Straight up. The crab and the lobster up there is, incomparable to Guayaquil. It's just kind of a letdown.
I just wouldn't, they claim it as their number one must try, Guayaquil's food, and for that to be their food is kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
But
try it, but there are so many more Ecuadorian dishes that are far superior, in our opinion.
3 being bolon, tigrillo, and patacones.
Patacones is a good one. Even the empanadas are better than crab, if we're being real.
What's the encocado?
Encocado, which means like in coconut.
That was really good too. So I'd say
really
bolon,
good.
tigrillo,
Like kind
and
of a
encocado.
sweet coconut curry sauce, like not spicy at all. On fish, way better than the cangrejo.
So the fourth myth is that La Bahia, which is the market area. What does La Bahia mean?
I don't know what it means.
Okay. Well, La Bahia is the neighborhood where there's just tons and tons and tons of street vendors. And everyone that's a tourist says that it's not for tourists. Like, you're going to go there and either get scammed out the wazoo or you're going to get pickpocketed from.
Which, again, this goes back to the safety thing. There's a caveat, of course. If you're a moron, or maybe not even a moron, just incredibly inexperienced and ignorant to traveling, you probably will get scammed. You have to be able to recognize what's a scam and what's not. And so sometimes if it's your first vacation, you might not be able to tell the difference. But if somebody's trying to sell you knockoff Nikes for $100 in a country where dinner plus a drink is $3, you should be able to put two and two together.
Selling you real Nikes on the street, like on the blanket, on the floor, on the concrete, they're definitely not real. Absolutely not.
Yeah, most of the stuff is not authentic, and so to pay anywhere close to premium American prices for these goods is outrageous. And there were people that tried to sell that to us, like Nikes for $70, and I'm like, dude, piss off, and you just leave. You just walk away.
And they immediately will go down to like 30.
Sort of.
Sometimes, yeah.
From 70 to 30? Name one dude who dropped from 70 to 30 on Nikes.
Oh, I'm talking about my Gucci shoes. He literally said 70 and I said 20. He said, okay, fine.
Yeah. But one dude, I think, went from 70 to 65 because he was like, they're good fakes. And I was like, I don't care. And I just left. Nobody harassed us when we were leaving. Nobody said anything at all. Sometimes I would laugh at their offer. Sometimes they would laugh at our counter offer. And we just walked away. And that's what you got to do. So if you're comfortable haggling, you'll be absolutely fine in La Bahia. If you're really intimidated by, basic human interaction and you don't speak any Spanish at all, then I would go with a guide or with somebody who does speak Spanish. Otherwise, I think you're totally fine.
So the fifth myth is that So the fifth myth is that there's not much to do in Guayaquil, and
it's boring.
It's not worth to even stay a day there, because to get to the Galapagos, which is a worldwide destination, you normally 99% of the time you're going to be going through Guayaquil. And when you look it up, everyone says it's not worth it, which we disagree with. We were there for 4 days, and I would say we didn't even have time to do everything that we wanted to do, because there was that much to do. There's that much, nature stuff to do, but also neighborhoods that are really interesting to explore, food to eat, shopping.
Every travel blog or vlog that exists in Guayaquil, the people do the same 3 things. They go to the Malecon, They probably get crab, and then they take the like aerolina, which is like the, what do you call them? The cars?
It's a
cars.
cable car, yeah.
And that's all. That's all you'll ever see. Yet nobody ever walks around and
In
like,
the museums.
it gives off this vibe that if you're not in this one corner of Guayaquil, then you're just bored out of your minds. When in reality, walking around and trying all the different food and seeing all the different parks that exist in the city, and even going to that random island, I forgot what it was called, that we had to cross the land bridge.
It's called Isla
Sante.
Yeah, Isla Sante.
Satay, something like that. Wasn't it Satay? I'll put it down here. I'll find out the actual name and put some cool photos.
But this island had a fishing village, and it's really pretty hike. Like, you hike through all these marshes, and it's very quiet and peaceful. There's no no urbanization.
Yeah,
on
I think we
this
saw
island.
like 10 people on the 4-mile path the entire time we were walking, which was
super nice walk.
About 2 hours, to get there and back. So, but like I said, we'll make a different video about things that we really enjoyed about Guayaquil and things that we would recommend. But this video specifically, we wanted to address some of the main myths around the city that I would see, which is, it's a little pit stop in South America that doesn't deserve more than a day, maybe 2, so that you can go see a fancy boardwalk that doesn't even look like South America. It doesn't even feel like Guayaquil. It feels like you're walking in a totally urbanized modern city, and it's kind of disingenuous to the actual people in Guayaquil and the food and the culture and how pretty damn epic it all is. So we hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have been to Ecuador, specifically Guayaquil, let us know if you forgot any myths that you always hear people saying about the city. And if you're thinking about going to Guayaquil and you have questions for either Eiley or I, please comment down below and we'll be sure to answer as soon as we can.
And remember to follow us on Instagram at The Yummy Passage.
Yes. Website coming soon. Thanks, guys.